Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Build Your Best Life podcast. My name is Jocelyn Charles. I'm your host for this evening, and you are tuning in to our Blueprint for Success program. We want to thank you first and foremost for tuning in with us, being a part of our viewers, and just following this platform. As you know, we are all about supporting young men growing into responsible young adults starting from middle school, high school, even on their way out of college, because we know what it takes. It takes a village to support young men to get them off to a good start. Even if they got off track, we're here to pour into them and let them know that they can get back on track, and we are here to support them in their journeys. Well, this evening we have a returning guest this evening. We have Dr. Shannon with us this evening. How are you?
I am doing amazing. It's always great to be on this platform. This is my home away from home, so it is lovely to be back here.
We are so glad to have you with us and to get more of your expertise and pull from you, and you pour into young men and helping mothers as well, mothers who are raising sons alone, and to other parents and guardians who may have young men in the household. But mothers, we're not men, so we need some extra help. We need some extra guidance. And from your expertise as you're a counselor, you're a licensed
Therapist, yes.
Licensed therapist. We know that you have dealt with this in your business platform and support families. So we welcome you in once again, and we are going to talk about this evening getting help. Someone is assigned to help you. So we want to make sure that young men know that getting help is not a sign of weakness. And the teacher shows up when the student is ready. The teacher will appear when the student is ready. So we want to encourage mothers alike, young men as well. Don't be afraid to reach out. Help is here waiting. And so before we get started, I want to encourage our viewers to please make sure you give this live some thumbs ups, some hearts, share with some individuals, family, friends, mothers who have sons at home, who could use this support, young men who are on their way to college, or maybe they just started college, to make sure that they stay plugged in into some good information, because we know the challenges just doesn't stop after high school. A lot of times that's when the world gets to spinning a little bit too fast, right? So once again, I want to say thank you to our viewers for tuning in. Good evening, Mr. Dan Smith. Thank you for tuning in. I pray all is well with you. And before I don't want to waste any more time, I'm going to get right into it. And so, Dr. Shannon, I have some questions for you that I want you to help bless the audience with this evening. So once again, our topic is get help. Someone is assigned to help you. We're here to help mothers and sons recognize how to connect with the right people, resources, and support.
Yes.
Why do
Yes.
so many young men struggle to ask for help, even when they know they need it?
I mean, that's a great question. And I think it's like two-part, right? But I want to go back to, um, I just want to go back to the topic, right? The topic itself, like someone is assigned to help you, because that resonates with me, even when I'm dealing with my own clients, young men, young women, but particularly young men, right? I think sometimes we have to realize like someone is always there to help us, but sometimes when the help is not in the package we want it to come in, we reject the gift. And I think for young men, recognizing, like you just said, someone is assigned to help us, someone is assigned to help you, and recognizing it may not always look how you want it to look, but someone, and it may be someone that you're not even expecting, but someone is there assigned to help you. And I think just helping them to understand that's there's people, there's a community out there willing to help you, but it may not always come in a package you want it to come in. And so sometimes I found that my clients tend to reject the help because it's not packaged how they want it to. And and part of that is why they struggle asking for help, right? Because they're looking, like you got to recognize too, like our young men hear these words like, men don't cry and man up and handle your business. They hear these words, right? And so for them, it's like I got to handle this myself. They internalize this. And I know that sometimes we say these words and we're not understanding it. Young men internalize those words. So for them, when they hear those words, it's like, okay, I got to do this on my own. I can't ask for help. Like, in part of it is sometimes they don't know when they are faced with fear, rejection, disappointment. They don't know what it looks like actually to ask for help. And so sometimes for them, I mean, and I'm not saying all of them, but sometimes for them, asking for help actually, it's kind of like admitting that you failed at something.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so normalizing, part of it is normalizing that it's okay to seek support. Is, like normalizing, like it's okay to say, okay, I'm not sure how to do this. Can you show me? Like they don't have to use the words, I need help. Like I'm an advocate for however you get it, however you need to ask for it, do it. And so normalizing, like you don't always have to say, I need help, but it could be, I'm not quite sure how to get this problem solved. Can you show me a better way? Or I thought about it doing it this way. What if you show me a different way that may be faster? You get what I'm saying? Like it doesn't always have to be, I need help, but it could be, okay, I'm not sure. Can you support me? Show me a different way, and normalize that versus you need to ask for help. Because we always say you need to ask for help. Well, sometimes people don't know how to ask for help. But you can say, hey, you know what? If you don't know how to figure it out, it's okay to ask someone to show you a different route. And I think that resonates better.
That's important that you shared that to young men and mothers alike, and because mothers can be guilty of the same.
Yes.
They can, if it doesn't come packaged the right way. If it's
Mhm.
not coming from another male, particularly in our instances, if it's not coming from a Black man,
Yes.
the help. Um, um, and a lot of times it could just be they need access to other resources. They
Yeah.
may be struggling with keeping up with their peers because they may not be savvy with AI tools. Sometimes it's just taking a course
Yeah.
here, or they may not feel confident in speaking. Enroll them into 6 months,
Yeah.
or commit to 6 months or maybe 1 year to Toastmasters or a debate team or a debate club. If they don't want to deal with their peers because they feel intimidated, well, Toastmasters
Yeah.
is a great platform. There's a whole nother world of people you don't know that can
Yes.
still pull you out of your comfort zone and
Yeah.
still help you excel in that skill set. And asking for help doesn't always mean that there's something wrong. You just need that extra push, that extra tool, that resource to get you the edge that you're
Yeah.
looking for, so you can compete and with your peers, or and just being able to keep up.
Yes. But I think also, like you just said, like introducing them to other things. Like I always, like one of the things I always introduce my clients to is improv. I
Okay.
always tell them, like, because you don't know these people, but
Yes.
it also helps you to think on your feet, right? Really quickly. And so
Mhm.
I referred a couple of clients to just doing improv, like just go to one improv class so you can kind of like think quickly on your feet. And it helps you to problem solve in real time.
That's good. Look,
And
I
so,
need that.
so that's why. So I think what you were saying, like, very important, like, normal, we have to normalize help. Like we have to normalize. And in my field, a lot of times, even when young men come to me, it's always I'm the last resort.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and because you touched up on it a little bit, right? It's like it doesn't have to be you ask for help when you have exhausted all of your resources. In most of the time, because remember, I told you they always think it from a standpoint of I got to do this myself.
Mhm.
And so when they think I have to do this myself, they're going to try to do everything on their own. And the help is always usually a little late when they come and ask for help, is usually they've exhausted their resources, they have no other options, and they're kind of like in a corner. And so people can help them, but it's kind of tough. And so for them, it's tough for people to help them because they're in that spot. And so they're reframing that narrative again. Oh, I knew they couldn't help me. No, it's not that they couldn't help you. You waited to the last minute to ask for help. And
Mhm.
sometimes it's impossible in certain positions. And so I try to, tell my young men, say, hey, look, let's not wait until you get to the last resource.
Yes.
Let's say, hey, you know what? I'm doing it this way. It's taking a little bit longer than I anticipated. Let me see who I can reach out to support me on this journey.
So good. So good. Not to wait to the last minute, or
Mhm.
don't use it as a tool. Don't use the tool as the last minute resource.
Yes.
So that's very important, because then they come to someone like you with your expertise and think that it should be resolved in 3 sessions, and not realize, listen, we got to go deep to get
Yeah.
out of the hole. And then what may look like 3 sessions to you may really turn out to be maybe two.
Yeah.
But it's so important, because uh, adults are guilty of that as well. Parents
Yeah.
and guardians, mothers and fathers, are guilty of that as well, as waiting to the last minute to seek help for their sons.
Yeah.
How can we teach young men that asking for help is a sign of wisdom and maturity? We touched on this. It's not weakness.
Yes. I mean,
That's
once
great.
again, it goes back to normalizing it. It goes back to reframing really your thoughts around seeking help. Like recognizing me asking for help is not a sign of weakness. It's not me relinquishing my power. It's not me failing. It's just saying that, hey, I've come to this roadblock and I need help, right? Getting through this. That's really all it's saying. And so I think for us, like learning to reframe the word help itself.
Yes.
Because sometimes, because we're talking to moms and, sons, sometimes moms could say, I'm helping someone, and they're looking at it. The son is looking at mom is helping, but she's doing it. She's not helping me. She's
Yeah.
hindering.
Yes.
He's actually hindering me from, looking for my resources. And sometimes mom can impede that process because, sometimes we think we're helping, but we're really hindering them from reaching their full potential.
Absolutely. And when it's time to get to the next hurdle, we're just repeating the process all over again.
Yes.
Mother is
Yeah.
doing it all for the sons. I think it's important. I hear what you're sharing, and it's important that we normalize that asking for help and assistance and a guidance and reaching out for those additional resources is the key to success.
Yes.
Success is not a one man rodeo, for
Yes.
anyone. going to need people. We're going to need other individuals, as you stated earlier, that doesn't look like us.
Yeah.
You know, they could be totally different ends of the spectrum, but if their areas of expertise is what you need to make sure you go ahead and maximize and utilize that. Success doesn't come on your own. You will need to lean on others, and I think young men and mothers need to remember that.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. Like, if growing up for us, we always heard it takes a village. We've always heard that term. And now we have to get back to community. Like, because it takes, like you just said, right? It may look like somebody that's outside of our community. It may look like somebody that's outside of our village, but we can embrace them in this community and in our village so that they can help us, make it to the next step.
Yes.
I think we have to get back to that community, right? Because that's and even in the book that I wrote, Healing from Within, that's one of the things I emphasize. I emphasize that healing takes place within a community. Like you said, success takes place in a community. And so many times we're trying to isolate ourselves from the community. We're trying to do all these things outside of the community, and we're realizing that it's not working.
Mm-hmm.
When we realize it's not working, instead of us asking for help, we rather continue to feel isolated, continue to be in this in this box because we're afraid to say, oh, I need help. But I think if we got to reframe it, we got to normalize, we have to normalize like it, we got to normalize like getting back to a community. Like it takes a community, like you said, to reach that level of success. Like I can't emphasize that enough because we were built for fellowship. If you think about it, all of us, we were built for fellowship. We were built to embrace each other, and we have to get back to that. And so for young men, teaching them that, like, it's okay to lean on your community. Matter of fact, find your community.
Yes. And as you were stating, reframing it and redefining what community is. I think that's key, because whatever area that a young man could be struggling in, if he's in high school, if he's struggling in sports, or if he's struggling in his grades, they can utilize another coach or an expert outside of their institution to help them in the area that they're struggling in. Or if you're in college and your major is journalism and broadcasting, and you're stuck, you're running into walls, and look for resources within that community.
Yes.
May need to be outside of your school program, but if you're still in the journalism or whatever community it is, your area of studies for your major, is redefining community.
Yes,
is important, but I think that comes with maturity and growth. Focus on the big picture. You're stuck in this area. This is, what you're specializing in right now. So reach out in that community to reach for help, ask for help, and someone can help you make a difference.
Yes, definitely. I love that. Yes.
So what should a mother do when she recognizes that her son needs help, but he refuses the help from her?
Okay. I mean, I love that question because it goes right back to question 1 and 2, right? Right. I mean, this is the thing. I think as moms, we have to recognize what's in our control is very limited. We only can control us in our response to others. So even as a mom, as young men, we got to recognize that we can't control them. We can't control them seeking help or receiving the help from us. But what we can do is we have control over our response. So perhaps, instead of looking from it as rejection, just looking at it, maybe I need to find a different way or a different person to reach him. Like the help, remember that it doesn't always have to come from us as moms. That's the thing we've been talking about, community. It doesn't have to come from us, because maybe they've been hearing us too much. Maybe they need to hear it from someone else. And maybe also it could be the delivery too. We got to be mindful of our delivery. Because the moment we say, you need my help, okay,
You
let's
don't know what you're doing.
like let's dial it back. Let's take it back just a moment. Like
Yep.
sometimes, we don't always have to take it as rejection, but sometimes we got to take it as, our young man is trying to find their own way. And so even if they're refusing the help from us, we got to reframe how we look at it too, because it's not always them rejecting us, it's them trying to find their own way. And so even if they refuse to receive the help from us, okay, I hear you. You don't want the help from me. Hey, but if there's someone else that you want to reach out to, make sure that you reach out to them and let me know if I can support you getting their information so that you can take the next steps. You see how that delivery is much more smoother than you need my help.
Yes, yes, it is. And we have to be emotionally mature ourselves as mothers to be able to further help our sons. Because if we get in our feelings and stuck in rejection, the feeling of the sense of rejection, we're not helping the situation at all.
Yes, I mean, you're absolutely right. But also, like, we can get stuck in it too. Like you said, stuck in that I'm being rejected versus maybe they're trying to figure it out on their own before they come to me and ask for help. But I think, yeah, it's just letting them know that, hey, I'm still here. Like, hey, I get it. You don't want my help or my support. Totally understand. But if you change your mind, I'm always here.
Yes.
Yes. Still letting them know that you're still available. This door is always going to be open and it's okay. Because let me tell you, teenagers, young men, they change their mind quite often and it's fine. It's fine. But I think if you close the door, then they're not coming back to you. But if you leave that door open, then, it's a warm invitation for them to come back and say, you know what, maybe I do need your help. But I think recognizing we can't control them once again, but we can control our response. And sometimes we need to just be a lot more relaxed in our response.
That is very good. Thank you for that answer.
Yes.
How important is it for young men to have trusted mentors and positive male influences outside of their immediate family?
I think it's very important. I think it's important to have those relationships outside of your, you call it immediate family, but I always distinguish and I say family of origin. Um,
Okay.
because your family of origin is the family you was born into. Because a lot of us, we go out and we create a chosen family. And so I think it is important to have, relationships outside of your family of origin, that because actually that chosen family that you're choosing, those people that's choosing to be a part of your circle, that's really what you're doing, right? You're choosing them to be a part of your circle. You have to have trust in them because they help you build that foundation for yourself, for that self-esteem. For sometimes even emotional regulations come from I'm dealing with people that really don't have to deal with me. And if I want to continue this friendship, if I want to continue this community, like you said, I have to be emotional mature to handle this. I may want to say this, but I got to control what I'm saying. And so sometimes they build those skills that's needed with family, with that chosen family outside of the family of origin, because those relationships are important. It helps them in the long run to build, right, that emotional intelligence they need to handle the outside world. And also, they get to know that people outside of your family can still love you and impact you and support you.
That's right.
Yeah.
It teaches them how to trust. It
Yes.
teaches them, I believe, how to use discernment.
Hmm.
Because once you don't, if you don't explore outside of your family that you're born into, if you don't explore and have a chosen family or other close
Yeah.
circles, you're not going to evolve.
Yeah.
You'll be mentally stuck in a box this is how my family do it. This is what my mom told me. This is what my dad taught me. This is what I saw my dad do. And they don't see anything any further, and everyone else is wrong or weird in their ways. And so I think it helps them develop, evolve, give them a sense of discernment when something is not feeling right, or when to question certain behaviors or input, feedback, all of the things.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it helps them develop those skills.
Yes.
So I totally agree with you on that. Totally agree with you on that one.
I want to take a moment. We have quite a few viewers tuning in with us this evening, and we're so very grateful to have each of you tuning in and commenting and participating in the chat. We love the feedback, and I want to say hello again to Mr. Dan Smith. He's still tuned in with us this evening, and we have Miss Brady Robinson, a good friend of ours and a blueprint for success as well. And we have our lovely CEO, Coach Deborah Smith, on with us. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I see my mom, Katie Credell. Hi, Mom. Thank you for tuning in. And we also have Mr. Henry Holmes. Good evening to each of you. I pray that you all are getting a lot from this program this evening, tuning in with us on Blueprint for Success. Our topic is getting help. Someone is assigned to help you. This is for our young men, and Dr. Shannon is dropping some great nuggets and words of wisdom and from her expertise as well, to help our young men and to help mothers who are raising young men. So thank you for participating in the chat. Make sure you give this live a thumbs up, give it a heart if you're tuning in on YouTube as well, and make sure you share. Make sure you share. Please do.
Yes.
This is good stuff.
Yes, absolutely.
Dr. Shannon, how can a man identify the difference between someone who is genuinely wants to help him and someone who may negatively influence his future? It's just led into it, right?
I know we're answering these questions before they even come up. I love it. But like you said, true discernment, like all of us, right? This is the thing. All of us were born with discernment. And so I have to educate you guys as well, right? All of us are born with discernment, but sometimes, and we can call it discernment, we can call it intuition, is whatever you want to call it, right? Body cues, like all of those things, we feel it. The truth is, though, sometimes we have been taught to suppress our intuition, our discernment, how we feel through our parents' or caregivers' actions. Unintentionally, I should add, right? And so as we're growing, we have to get back in tune with our body, because our body will let us know that, hey, that is a red flag. Something is off. We've all met someone and we're coming into contact with them and we say hello, have a brief conversation. And sometimes we walk away like, oh, wait, that person is not good for me. Even though they smile, they seem genuine, but we walk away saying that person is not good for me. But sometimes, because we look past the smile, right? Oh, they were nice to me. Oh, they can't mean me any harm. But the truth is, because we've been taught to suppress, right, that intuition, that discernment, right? Sometimes we look past that because we don't trust our own judgment. And so it's really about trusting yourself and trusting your gut, trusting your intuition, and trusting your discernment. Like getting back to a place where you trust yourself. And if you meet someone that's not in alignment with what you want, it's okay to walk away.
Yes.
Sometimes we have to realize, like, we have to question some things too. Like, can this person respect my boundaries? Right? If they can't, that's a red flag. Right? Is this person, looking out for me? Are they causing me harm? Once again, are their values in alignment with my values? Because if that answer is no, we have to learn to walk away. And it's okay to walk away. It's okay to say, you know what, this is not lining up. I think so many times we get red flags and people are not aligning up with our values. They're not respecting our boundaries, but we're like, oh, they're nice. We look past all of that. They were nice, but nice doesn't cut it. Nice does not always cut it. Nice doesn't mean that person is in your corner. That person is looking out for you. We have to look beyond someone just simply being nice to us and look for what is a healthy choice for me and what is my goal as well for myself. Like if my goal is to just think it as a young man, and I use this example all the time. If my goal is to go to college and I'm in high school and I'm a junior in high school and my goal is to go to college and I meet a friend, this so-called friend, he wants me to skip school. He wants me to vape with him. He wants me to do all these things. Is that in alignment with your goal? And if the answer is no, then you may have to drop him as a friend. I get it. I get it. He listens when nobody else will. I get it. Like, okay, nobody else wants to be my friend at school. Got it. But it doesn't mean because he's choosing to be your friend that he's in the right path for you. Because obviously, if your goal is to go to college and he's trying to get you to do things that can hinder that, that's not in alignment with you. Once again, we got to look past, oh, they're nice to me. They talk to me. Great. I'm glad they talk to you, but it doesn't mean that's a friend. We got to look past the niceties of people and look at what is our goal.
That's hard for some adults, even harder for younger adults.
Yes.
Teenagers and young men, because when you're in that age where it's easy for someone to make an impression on you. Because that person that you described, that may not be the best influence, but they may be the life of the party. They may have all the friends, the popular one, and you're tired of being alone, so you want to chill and you want to get in the mix. You have your goals, but this is cool. I haven't had this before. He pulled all the girls, and so now I'm getting attention from just all the things.
Yes, I agree.
Lost in the sauce, and before you know it, you're vaping. You smoking weed or whatever, or you're skipping school, or you're hanging at the wrong crowd on the weekends. It's just by the grace of God. You hadn't gotten caught up in something until you do.
Yes.
Until you do get caught up in something. Until you do get that young woman pregnant before you ain't even figured out life. It just starts a ripple effect.
Yes.
Effect. So that is very important to. It's a much needed emphasis that we have to continue to share with young men as mothers, as parents, as guardians.
Yeah, we got to look past the niceties of it. I think that's what we, like you just said, we get caught in the sauce. Like that person can introduce me to all these other people because, like you said, I'm tired of being by myself, but yet this person can introduce me to all these people, but these people don't have my best interests at heart. And I have to be okay with walking away from that. And this is the thing. I think sometimes we don't give a lot of credit to young men because I think they do have the power to walk away. We just haven't, given them the skills to do so.
Yes.
Like we got to give them the tools, and we have to tell them that it's okay to walk away. It's okay to say, you know what, maybe that's not the crowd for me. That's not the person for me. And it can even be a mentor. Like, sometimes coaches and mentors are not always the greatest influence when it comes to our young men. It's okay to say, you know what, that's not the mentor I need in my life right now. Or maybe that coach was in my life for a season. The season is over. And now, hey, I get to, get under someone else's umbrella and be in their life for the next season. Like once again, right? So, and sometimes it is hard just walking away from people who's been in our life for a long time. But I think once we let young men know that it's okay to walk away, then they have that tool and that skill to say, you know what, now it's time for me to move on and turn, to the next chapter of my life.
It's their God-given power, and they have
Mhm.
permission to move on.
Yeah.
And it's going to be okay. You still let people know that you're cool with them, that still have love for them. But I think it's important. I had to remind my son of this, and I remember this since the summer going into his senior year, and he was involved in a theater um, outside of school. And I said, don't lose focus of what you got involved with this program for.
Yes.
Don't lose focus. And we have to remind our young men, you're going to meet some people along the way. And yes, we are, we're going to have fun in life. But when that fun becomes to be a bad pattern, a habit, and every weekend, this is what you're doing, and it's starting to pull you away, don't lose focus on the goal that's right in front of you.
Yeah.
So it's just important that we highlight that for our young men.
Yes, I mean, definitely. Even when my oldest son, when he went off to college, right? This is the thing. Like, I expect him to have fun and, to meet new friends. And so the one thing I've always shared was like, remember your purpose. You can have fun, you can meet new friends, you could go to parties, you could do all those things. But at the end of the day, I just want you to remember your purpose. Just being mindful of what is the purpose here. The purpose is for you to get a degree. All of those other things, hey, as a parent, I get it. You're in college, you're going to indulge in those things, and that's fully okay with me. But at the end of the day, you have to remember your purpose.
That's right. Don't waste your time or your money. Your money, your resources, maximize on why you're here. Maximize on the reason. What would you say to a mother who feels guilty because she realizes she cannot give her son everything he needs to become the man he is called to be?
Well, I would say it's okay. Like, it's okay to feel guilty, because the truth is, we as women were not meant or created to give young men everything they need to be, as a man. It's okay to feel guilty, but also recognize guilt is an outward emotion. And what I mean by that is an outward emotion. Guilt is about how other people view us. Right? So sometimes when we say, I feel guilty, we're saying is like, I'm looking at how other people view me in this situation. Mm-hmm. And they may look like, oh, she's a bad mom. Right? That's the guilt. The guilt is outward. It's about how other people are viewing you. So you're looking at it from a standpoint of, hey, other people may view me as a bad mom, or not sufficient, or, or not a good mom, because I'm not able to supply him with everything he needs to be, a man. Right. And so the truth is, it's okay to feel that way. Like, our emotions are valid. Like, whatever we feel, whatever the circumstances, our emotions are valid. But also recognize, like, okay, we're not called to do that, and it's okay to elicit outside help. Once again, that's where that community comes in at. That's where the community comes in at. It's okay to feel guilty. It's okay to recognize, you know what, I can't be the person, or I can't supply everything he needs. Like, who can? Like, in the grand scheme of things, who really can? Right. But we could solicit our community to help us in the areas that we're weak in. Like, some people, and I think that plays into our strength. Like, know your strength as a person, as a mom. Like, know your strength, so when you know your strength, you can lean into that strength. But if you know that you're weak in the area, that's nothing wrong with admitting to weakness either. Like, oh, I lack in that. I need to get somebody else to come step in my shoes for that. And it's okay, as moms, it's okay to elicit help from other people. But our feelings are valid too, right? Because we want to do everything we can for our kids, right? We want to always be there. We want to support them. We want to make sure we give them the tools to navigate this world, and so they can be productive humans and be the best version of themselves. But we also have to know that it doesn't all fall on us.
It's important to highlight that. Thank you so much for that answer, because moms have become conditioned, especially, after uh, what's been going on the past couple of generations. You've seen more mothers raising their sons by themselves, and it's like the outlook is you're a good mom if you're a super mom. If you're going above and beyond, you're breaking, like you're giving and you're doing everything, and so when you can't get something accomplished for your son, that's when that guilt comes in, because you feel like you've fallen short from that bar of being super mom who can do all things, who can make anything happen, who can pull together all the resources for their son. But you're giving mothers the okay right now that, it's just the outward feeling of what others may view of us, but it doesn't mean that we're bad mothers because we can't do all things. And we weren't designed, in my opinion, we weren't designed to do all these things. A lot of times we're dealing with the cards that's been dealt, where we are in life, and just trying to make the best out of it.
Yes, that's all we can do, really. That's all we could do. And you're absolutely right. We're not designed to do all of those things, and we could solicit help from others. The one thing one thing about me, like I told you, I'm an advocate for, like, however you need to achieve it, you know what I'm saying, do it. And sometimes it may require you to do it outside the box, and I'm definitely okay with that. Like, it's not a one size fit all. But like, all of us are made in the unique image of God. And I think sometimes we lose focus of that, because just because it works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you. And we got to remember that when it comes to us, when it comes to raising sons, because all of us, even us with multiple sons, they all have multiple different needs. And we have to learn to adjust our needs, really to accommodate them as people, because they're humans too. It's not a one size fit all. So just because I raise one son one way doesn't mean the other son needs that same type of love. He may need something that's totally different. And it's okay.
So good. You set some mothers free with that response right there. And so for our viewers, please make sure you share this, because for that response to the question, that is huge. That is huge. A lot of mothers get stuck right there and beat themselves up. And it affects how they continue to raise their sons, or how they continue to parent.
Yeah.
Because now the spirit of guilt and this lie from the enemy is starting to set in their spirit, and it starts to change who they are at the core, and their effectiveness in a positive manner on their children. So that's so good. So good.
Yes, I'm glad I can help.
Yes. We're getting down to the last question. This has been great. I can't believe time has gone by really fast.
Yes.
Speak directly to a young man who feels alone, overwhelmed, and determined to figure everything out by himself. What would you tell him about finding and receiving help?
Okay. I mean, excellent question. All right. I think we've answered that in so many different ways, but I just wanted to just be very direct, right? And I would tell all young men, you don't have to suffer in silence. It's okay to ask for help, support, whatever you want to call it. It's okay. And it's okay to say, you know what, I'm feeling stuck in this space and I need someone to help me navigate it in a different way. And so letting them know that all of the feelings are feeling overwhelmed and wanting to do it by themselves is greatly appreciated. However, they don't have to. And like I said before, like, one of the things I've always emphasized and everything I've always talked about, even in my book, Healing from Within, is always about being in community. It's so important, and I can't emphasize that enough. Like, reach out to your community. Even if it's not mom, you have a community, you have people that support you, and it's okay to ask other people to support you, in that you don't have to suffer. And also, we as humans, if you notice, we were not meant to carry our burdens alone. We're just simply not. And so, even when we receive help, it doesn't take away our power. If anything, it's a way for us to kind of like get that power back. Right. And so, just recognizing like asking others for help is not a sign of weakness. It's just really a sign that, I'm maturing. That's really what it is. I'm maturing and I'm recognizing I need a different avenue to get to the path that I'm trying to go in.
Good. I want to add one thing to that is for them to recognize that they are not alone. Because sometimes you just kind of feel isolated and stuff. Someone has gone through what you've been through, and you hit it. You were spot on when you shared. You may have to go outside your immediate family, and it's okay. Just know that the help is available, but you have to be willing to open yourself up to go out and find it and go for it. So
Yes.
you're not alone. You're not, you may feel stuck and you may be stuck, but there is an answer. There are resources. There are people, a village, someone who's willing and ready to help.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm glad you added that on. So, yes, that was definitely spot on. Yes, they are not alone.
Well, Dr. Shannon, this has been a very great conversation for our young men, talking about getting help. Someone is assigned to help you. So, to all of our young men, please do not be afraid to seek help. It's not a sign of weakness. There are many resources out there. There have been young men who have gone before you who've had the same problems, the same situations. They may not look like you.
Yes.
And getting help doesn't mean that something is wrong. You just may need to move on to the next step, and you just don't need to go to get that done. So please utilize all your resources. Dr. Shannon, please share with the audience how they can contact you if they're looking for resources, if they're looking for help, and share with the audience.
Yes, well, thank you for that invitation. But yeah, so I am available for speaking events and engagements. Also, besides a therapist, I'm also an author and a speaker. And so you can always reach me at hopewithincounseling.com. And the way that I tell people to remember hope within is because everything you need to heal is always inside of you. And so if you remember hope within, because we all have hope within us. And so hopewithinus.com, you can always reach me on Facebook, Instagram, all of them on hopewithincounseling.com. Even if you need, and this is the thing, right? And so don't be afraid to reach out, even if it's just for a resource, right? You don't have to call me just for counseling or just for a speaking event, but even if you need a resource, right? I'm available. You can call me. It's okay. Even if you have a question about, something that you're interested in, definitely give me a call. My number is 469-849-5956. And remember, hopewithincounseling.com.
Okay.
Yes.
Information in the chat.
Yes.
Thank you again for being with us.
So
we appreciate you. I always enjoy our conversations, and you always drop a nugget. And I'd be like, "Hey, I didn't think about it that way." Wow, she really was spot on with that. That helped somebody because it helped me.
Yes. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I got into this field to help people. And so it's a blessing to know that, hey, my gifts is pouring out. So I love it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Once again, we appreciate you. We appreciate our viewers for tuning in this evening. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Make sure you share this broadcast with someone who have a young man at home, or share it with them directly. And thank you again for tuning in. Dr. Shannon, I look forward to the next time that we're together. Yes. You have a great rest of the week. And to our audience, you do the same. Thank you for being with us, and have a great week.
You do the same already. Bye-bye.